Alright, this is a incident that happened around Walpurgis Day of 2010. So it happened quite a while ago. On Walpurgis Day, I uploaded a video onto the internet, and basically I felt like a surge of energy hit me after I uploaded that video. And I took that energy and I projected it right at the Grays. And I took out about 9 giant UFOs that were controlling a huge military program. And this attracted a lot of attention from the military. My wife and I, we were going to a conference. It's a parent conference in upstate Connecticut, in a very rural section of Connecticut where her sister lives. And the whole way up there, sports cars with all limo tint, the windshield all limo tint, late model, they would constantly just drive by and just come real close to us, just swerve past. Sometimes there are 3 or 4 of them, and they'll just drive past at a fast rate of speed. I would say maybe 80 or 90. And this happened the whole way up to the parent conference. So we got to this rural area. We dropped our children off at Rachel's sister's house, and we attended a conference. And at this conference, it was all feds that signed up for it, agents. And my wife and I. My father had suggested that we go to this. And I had read this man's book, and he did have some excellent information in a very simple, short book on parenting. I remember at that group, besides my wife and I, there was 3 ladies who were just old, heavy, and I would consider them now just plants. An African American lady, a white lady, and I would say maybe Spanish or Italian. And they all were extremely obese. They all wore prescription glasses. They all had the look of being involved with the program for far too long. Across the table sat 2 African American ladies that were younger, and they were elegant and very intellectual ladies. And they were both psychic, and I could tell they were both psychic. And they were also involved in the program, but I believe that they were putting up a fight, and they were good people, but they were quiet, and they wouldn't say much. But basically after the conference let out, my wife and I got into the car, and we went to go pick up our children. And right before we went there, my wife pulls over at a gas station. Like I said, it was a rural area. Wasn't a lot of gas stations around. And as we pull in, there's an operative filling up his gas, and he's kind of looking down suspiciously at our license plate, and he's talking via a headset. And a truck pulls up, a tractor trailer truck pulls up, and a blue van pulls up. It's like a utility van. Behind the front seat there's a kind of a cage, and that's to keep the equipment from, falling into the driver's compartment. It's a utility van. So these 2 guys pull up. They're about my age, I would say early 30s at the time. sunglasses, larger guys. One was a little taller than me. He was about 6'4", and he walked by, and my wife was checking the air in the tires. At that point, we had finished filling up our gas tank, and we pulled forward to put air in the tire. I noticed this activity in the gas station, and she just went about checking the air pressure. So the guy that I just described got out, walks by us, and he says, "Aren't you John Harwood from Danbury?" And I just said, "Nah, no." And he goes, "Then you could be his twin." Now, twin is a trigger. It's a word people use in the program to get people to disassociate. It's a trigger word. So he goes into the store. Meanwhile, his buddy who was driving gets out of the vehicle, and he's more of a stocky guy. I would say he's more like 6'2", 6'3", but he's like 250. He was bigger than the other guy. So he gets out of the van, and a little dog jumps out. And the little dog runs to this gate in the back of the gas station. There was a gate that looks like they might have used it to impound cars. It had a little mechanic's garage there, and probably a little towing company, and they're the local place that would tow cars, impound cars, whatever needed to be done. So it's a gate there, and a German Shepherd ran from, let's just say, the impound lot up to the gate, while the little dog jumped out of the van and ran over, and they both start barking at each other. The guy gets out of the car, and he folds his arms, and he keeps on saying, "Come here, get over here, come here, come here, come here." But he's not looking at the dogs. He's looking at me. So I'm kind of looking at these two dogs, and I get this impulse to go and stop this dog fight from happening, or go help this guy get his dog. But I use my brain, and basically I think, first off, if the guy wants to go get his dog, he could go get his dog. And two, you don't want to get involved with that. So I'm kind of looking back and forth at this guy who's just standing there saying, "Get over here, come here, come here, come here," but he's not moving. I notice he's not moving. He's kind of staring at me, but he has sunglasses on. Meanwhile, the two dogs are going crazy with the fence between them. So I project the thought of the dogs, "Don't fight," and all of a sudden both dogs just stop barking at each other, and both dogs turn and look at the guy. The guy's jaw drops open, like he was astounded at this, and he's just staring at me. So I give him the thumbs up, and at that time my wife had finished filling up the we had a tire with a slow leak in it, so it constantly had to be refilled with air. So she had finished filling that up, and she kind of noticed all this happening. But my wife is a little bit more quiet than I am, and she's more reserved about this all. She doesn't say that much, so she kind of gives me a strange look. I'm like, "All right, let's get out of here," you know. So we get in the car, and she's like, "Did you know that guy who asked who knew your name?" I'm like, "No, I don't know who they are." And she's like, "Who do you think they are?" And I'm like, "I have no idea who they are." Now at the time, they both seem like foreign. And that's what happens to a lot of these guys that are involved with this program. They also come in contact with a lot of foreign intelligence officers too, from all around the world, that are involved with this. And I guess their kind of mannerisms rub off on each other, but I guess them to be some sort of foreign intelligence. I guess them to be German, because they were both like blonde guys, and when they would walk kind of regimented, and they just reminded me of like Germany for some reason. And I said, I don't know who they are, if they're feds or what their deal is. And she's like, "Do you think they're good guys?" I'm like, "I don't know." And my answer to her now is no. They're not good guys. And my guess is that the guy that walked by me and said, "Are you John Harwood from Danbury?" and then said twin, that was supposed to trigger me into being like some sort of, I don't know, to receive direction more. And the other guy who's yelling, "Get over here, come over here," wanted to see if I was going to walk over there and try to get him his dog, or get the little dog away from the big dog and bring it over to him. And if I'm like that easily controlled, you know, wouldn't it be that hard to like knock me over the head, grab my wife and me, throw me in the back of that utility van, bust out of there, and then the guy with the tractor trailer truck could grab my car, drive it up in the back of the tractor trailer, and then we disappear. You call that a military abduction. But I drew these pictures. These are old pictures I drew years ago, and just thought I would bring this up. And I'm just saying this to educate people and tell people that these feds and agents, they kind of go out and they have psychic abilities, and they have abilities to control people, and people should understand what they are. They give off the impression that they're many things, but what they are is basically CIA. But they do have psychic abilities. They do, even the Americans come off as being like foreign intelligence, or you might even, some people might even consider them extraterrestrial or Pleiadian. So make sure that you're not triggered by these fake Pleiadians. And when people have contact with extraterrestrial, they see UFOs, they get these what they would be called men in black. And people always say the men in black kind of act unusual. They act like they're, you know, from somewhere else. They don't seem like Americans. They don't seem normal. They might be extraterrestrial. That they're CIA that have been fucking with the Greys too long. They've been fucking with the Klingons too long. They're plants. Lots of them have been trained in Germany and trained in different countries. So they kind of give off the resonance that they're not from around America. So don't get triggered or fooled by what I call fake Pleiadians. That's the main reason why Pleiadians will not interact with people too much, because they know this game that the CIA plays a lot. And if the Pleiadians come down and interact with people in a physical sense, people could get triggered or abducted very easily.